Joined by the voice of the Rebels, Cam Moon, looking back on what was an incredibly entertaining, incredibly wild 2018 WHL trade deadline. When's the last time you saw one this eventful league-wide?
I don't know. Last year there was a lot of trades, but this year there was like big trades. And there were so many teams, and still are, so many teams that are right in the hunt, that think they have a shot at winning this thing, and only a handful of teams that were selling off. So the prices went up. The deals got big, and it was very entertaining. And now we get to see from now till the end of the regular season how it all shakes out and how it affects these teams. And we will see how it affects the teams that we're selling years down the road. But wow, you look at what the Swift Current Broncos did, what the Moose Jaw Warriors did. There is going to be an incredible battle at the top of the East Division. And if both those teams win in the first round, they play each other in the second round, which doesn't even seem right, but that's how it is. An amazing day with a lot of huge deals.
Yeah, a lot of teams giving up a lot of draft picks over the next couple of years and a chance to get to that Memorial Cup in Regina this year. And you talked about the teams out east, Swift Current, Moose Jaw, absolutely loading up. But there was the American division too. You had Portland and Tri-City. They were making some moves as well.
Yeah, they were. So, and that American division really isn't a lot different than the East in that every team in that American division is pretty good. So the Portland Winterhawks, they certainly got themselves better. They get Dennis Cholowski from the Prince George Cougars. He's a first-round pick of the Detroit Red Wings. He's going to help a ton. Tri-City Americans had Jake Bean, the Carolina Hurricane first-round pick. Get him from the Calgary Hitmen. The Everett Silvertips made a move, a few days prior, and they get Garrett Pilon and Andre Vala from the Kamloops Blazers. That's going to help them, and they already got Carter Hart, so they got the best goalie in the league. The U.S. division is going to be incredible drama throughout. The Spokane Chiefs are a really good team. The Seattle Thunderbirds are a pretty good club. They're just good all the way the whole division. So it's kind of weird how it is this year in that two divisions are as strong as they are, top to bottom. It's going to make for some amazing playoffs early in the playoffs, and we'll see how it shakes down in that U.S. division, but it is going to be extremely competitive.
Absolutely. Obviously, here in the Central, it was a selling year. Almost every team made at least one or two moves leading up to the trade deadline. Rebels right in there, Cam, making several moves to get younger and get some picks in the pocket. Yeah,
the team did get younger, and younger mostly just throughout its own system in bringing up young players. Arshdeep Bains comes up, River Fahey, Justin Svensson, Alex Morozov. All those guys have come up through the system. They're all 16-year-old players that weren't with the team at the start of the year, but they are now. The team did accumulate a lot of picks over the course, really, of the season. In the deal, Josh Tarswell comes over, a 17-year-old forward from the Lethbridge Hurricanes. Rebels get a second-round pick in there, too, get a couple of seconds in the deal that saw Brandon Schuldhaus go to Moose Jaw. Colin Parody comes the other way. Those guys are the same age, but the Rebels get a couple of second-round picks in there, too. Rebels also have a first-round pick coming from the Regina Pats, and that was from a deal last season, the Josh Mahura deal. So, lots of things going on there as far as the Rebels accumulating and getting more picks, getting younger, and looking to the future.
Yeah, I believe the tweet was on Tuesday that Calgary and Red Deer have 12 of the top 60 picks for the next draft. So there's other teams that are going to be looking to restock those picks too, so you never know what might be able to happen.
Well, true enough. That's the thing. Like you accumulate all the picks, and you may use them all, but you may not. You may use a second-round pick somewhere along the line to add a 20-year-old player, and whether that be next season or the season after or whenever. But when you have all those, then you have that flexibility that you can do that. Maybe you use all those picks at the WHL Bantam draft and help stock the cupboards for years to come. So, it was a lot of teams in the Central looking to get younger and to add draft picks, and those other teams, they're in the win right now stage, like the Rebels were 2 years ago when they were hosting the Memorial Cup and had to make a bunch of deals to bring in some guys. And as it turns out, it worked out pretty well. The team won 45 games. They went 3 rounds in the playoffs, and they played in the semifinal of the MasterCard Memorial Cup. So it worked out pretty good for Red Deer, and now you're on the other end of that cycle.
Absolutely. So now we know what the Rebels team is going to look like, more or less, for the rest of the season. You've got some veterans in here to still provide some leadership and some exciting 16-year-olds, some good goaltending still. So obviously playoffs, probably not happening this year, but lots to look forward to with this club still.
Yeah, and you're right. probably not the playoffs, although the way the Central Division has gone this year, they're not out of the race yet
not,
because
no.
nobody's really taken off with anything. So you never know. Get on a hot streak, you could get right back in it. But yeah, the idea now is for these young guys to play and play and play and to develop and to get better. And you see the amount of 17 and 16-year-old players in the Rebels lineup. Sure, it makes it tough when you go up against the Moose Jaws and the Swift Currents of the world. They'd have older lineups with a bunch of top-end guys and guys that are of a national team level, and that makes it difficult for sure. But you hope that the time that you put in now pays the dividends down the road and that those guys get better. So they've been playing a ton, and we would love to see them continue to get better.
Yeah, just give her.
Just give her.
Rebels at home twice this weekend. They've got Lethbridge in on Friday, Saskatoon here Saturday.